We'll start this session with Makhdoom Amar Aziz. Makhdoom Amar Aziz is a poet and filmmaker from Lahore. He's a recipient of the International Federation of Film Critics Award, among several other accolades. He has been selected for some of the most prestigious film festivals in over 100 countries. His poetry, published in various international literary journals, has appeared and is forthcoming in many anthologies in Russian, Bangla, Spanish, Tamil, Kannada, and Urdu. He is the co-founder of Samaj, a cultural non-profit organization with several literary initiatives in Pakistan. I warmly welcome you, Amar Aziz. Please share your work with us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khwaja. I'm very, very thankful to you and to everyone else who has made this event possible. It's great to share the space with all of you. And thank you for a very generous introduction. I'll be reading three short poems from my forthcoming collection of poetry. The first one is called When They Spot a Muslim. When they spot a Muslim. In his suitcase, ether bottles catch their eyes. No alcohol. They sniff the exotic fragrances and stare into the traveler's eyes, like dark jewels glittering calmly in his aged brown skin. His beard partially colored by henna, wavy white hair intertwined with the strangeness of forgotten years, as if snow covering the mountains of his native land. His wrinkled face, snakes. His wrinkled face, snakes dancing in the desert while a snake charmer plays the bean. On his forehead, the mark which appears on those who regularly pray and believe it will glow on Judgment Day. His attire, what magicians wear in folklore from the East. Everything about the old man is frightening. They ask him, "Why are you here?" The snakes on his face begin to move. The old man responds in a language which could be Arabic, Persian, or Urdu, languages whose vocabularies have words for the unknown and the unseen, such as the rivers in paradise and the secret nights of sacred months. They have machines to inspect his belongings and machines to know if he lies. But the machines cannot inspect the folded prayer mat with the embroidered mosque and an ethereal gold crescent moon illuminating a town where children play with shattered palm branches and little stones spread over the ground, which they sometimes throw to survive. My second poem is called War on Terror. War on Terror. As the wind struggles through the grass, Shumal Khan prays in the sugarcane field behind his mud hut, where he has lived since the days when mothers in this valley never remember dates, but linked their child's birth to something unusual that year, a storm, a great crop, a plague. He attends a funeral in the afternoon, has tea with his grandchildren before climbing a hill to collect firewood, eats wild peaches, and as he climbs, looks above at an airplane like a child. The trailing smoke reminds him of a dirty creek. Shumal Khan knows nothing about the world beyond his valley, but he can tell by looking at the stars which day it will rain this week. Thank you. And my last piece is, her science teacher tells her the properties of matter. Her science teacher tells her the properties of matter. Soaked by a light drizzle, running on a mud path amidst the sugarcane fields, while ripe crops sway in the breeze and men casually drink tea, squatting under the old banyan tree, she reaches her school where all the children have similar bags and the teachers use gadgets with the stickers of the American flag. when her science teacher tells her that wood is a structural tissue made of different cells sharing common chemical composition, which is 50% carbon and 42% oxygen, she silently nods her head, though deep in her heart she knows it's lame. Her grandmother's wooden prayer beads and the broken piece of her slain father's sitar are different things. They can never be the same. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Khwaja, and everyone.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your contribution. Three very fine poems we heard. We will move on to our next reader, next participant. And she has participated for the last couple of years from India. Very warmly welcome Basudhara Roy. She teaches English at Kareem College, Kareem City College, affiliated to Kolhan University, Chaibasa. She's drawn to gender and ecological studies. She's the author of 3 poetry collections. Her recent work is available at Outlook India, the Dhaka Tribune, EPW, the Madras Courier, and Livewire, among others. She's been shortlisted for the DKM Prize, DKM Prize, sorry, 2021. She writes and reviews from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. A very warm welcome to you, Basudhara ji. Please unmute yourself and
Thank you, Vikas, and it's an honor for me that St. Agnes College decided to continue this tradition of keeping us a part of the 100,000 Poets for Change movement virtually. So thank you for this very warm virtual community that you have built up. Thank you very much. I'll just read one poem. It's a long poem, so not very long, of course, but yes. So it's called Memories of My Grandmother as a Clock. Motherless since 5, and having been given in marriage by her lawyer father at 14, with 45 saris in her dowry, a body adorned by gold fetters of every sort, and a talisman that she would never lack anything as long as she did not lag. My grandmother hustled to tie in her achal, along with her bunch of responsibilities and invisible timepiece. Post 70 years of breathlessly keeping time to my grandfather in a number of houses through varied fortunes, and amidst an assortment of in-laws, sons, nephews, nieces, grandchildren, and servants, when she could finally run no more, grandmother decided it best to metamorphose into a clock. She had by now broken her femur and pelvic bone, and also the cast of her mind, so that as she lay in bed, gutted with her own past, memories squirmed everywhere, feeding steadily on the debris of her days. In her speech, she would randomly bring them all. The neighbor boy next door who brought her green mangoes at 9, the sister-in-law who was married away to a widower 20 years older because she had tried to elope with a Muslim, another who ran off with a Nepali and was neither sought nor returned. The 2 women her father-in-law kept, one of them his wife's childhood playmate. It was unsettling to overhear her, especially for father, whose impeccable family tree, he thought, had unimpeachable branches, obedient to fences and commands. Mother would sit beside her, trying to caress her into calm, but the hourglass in grandmother's mind was too sincere for silence or decorum. Body stiff as a bamboo pole, unkempt hair strewn across her pillow like uncomfortable fractions caught in a web, she inevitably circled clockwise as she lay now, marking all temporal hours steadfastly between her limbs. "Does my son harm you in bed?" she would ask mother. "Take care. These men, once possessed, won't hesitate to gallop across a woman's body and grind it to dust. It runs in the family. You are educated, which I was not. You earn for yourself, which I did not. Never given, I'm telling you." My father, each time he heard this, would cringe. My mother would try to usher me away. I was too unsure to understand much, except this was something not meant for my ears, and I would attempt to indifferently look afar. But sometimes grandmother would hook me in. And you, young lady, give more attention to books. Though your little body may easily be conquered, it is up to you to make your mind a fortress. Make it invincible. It will be your armor. I was yet to know what that meant. But one fine day when I broke a plate and someone chanced to mention that breaking glass was inauspicious, grandmother hoarsely insisted it was only as inauspicious as a strong woman who wouldn't hesitate to hurt if handled without care. She passed on one day, as punctual as she had lived, her eyes promptly falling vacant to the call of death. Her hands outstretched that summer afternoon to mark 3, the unaltered time lifelong for her basil tea. Mother missed her boast and would return from work to sit on an empty bed each day, trying perhaps to figure out the right time for things. I cherish grandmother chiefly as a clock, ticking away on my mind's wall. Her voice as sharp as a shard, too defiant to believe that times will not change. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vasudha. As usual, your contributions are richly appreciated.